Hey, what is going on, guys? Danny here. Welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all doing well. So we're back again, and we're going to be doing some more Forza Horizon 6 testing. And this time, what I've got installed in the test bench for you guys is the RTX 5070. This is one of the most popular, or I think the most popular 50 series GPU. According to the Steam charts, I think maybe the 5060 Ti or the 5060 are ahead of it. But this one's still up there, right? A lot of people say this one offers the best bang for the buck amongst the whole stack. I personally think the 5070 Ti is the one that offers the best value per dollar in the entire stack, but this one's also really good. I did pick this up recently, and I did do some overclocking with it just recently as well. This sample that I got is actually pretty darn good, as you guys can see from the on-screen display. With my overclock, we're running at 3.3 gigahertz or 3300 megahertz, slightly above it actually, and we have the memory overclocked to the max with the plus 3000 offset in MSI Afterburner. So yeah, I figured, throw this on this test bench for you guys. I know a lot of people would be interested in this mid-range card. And you know what's interesting? The reason why I wanted to test this card is because some other channels have reported that this game, if you have like all the settings cranked up to the max, there's some VRAM, usage issues. Not issues, but like it uses a lot of VRAM. And yeah, I mean, I was doing some testing, and I think I can definitely vouch for that. I know in my previous video, we were running the RX 9070 XT, which is a 16 gigabyte VRAM GPU, and we were still encountering some stuttering with that. And at the time I said that I wasn't sure if this is, full an AMD problem. There were a lot of AMD guys reporting that they were experiencing stuttering, and some people saying that, on Nvidia, I don't have any stutters. In this case, though, unfortunately, I can't really test out or make a definitive conclusion that, it was just an AMD problem, because the 5070 only has 12 gigabytes of VRAM, so that's one of the limitations we are actually going to be running into. You guys will see that over here. And I'll show you guys the settings. And, actually what I wanted to show you guys first was 1080p testing. And, I figured because the type of demographic or target audience that's going to be buying a 5070, they may be on a 1080p monitor, albeit probably a high end, with a high refresh of like 240 hertz. But yeah, as you guys can see, we are at 1080p. I am using DLSS because this is Forza Horizon 6 uses DLSS 4.5. On the quality mode, it looks absolutely great compared to native. And yeah, I mean, we have all these settings over here enabled. Let's go into the graphics options over here, and I'll show you guys. For now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be running extreme and with ray tracing enabled, just like how we were running last time with the RX 9070 XT. And as you guys can see too, on the right hand side with the video memory, we're loading about 10.5, 10.6 gigabytes of memory, whereas the MSI Afterburner on-screen display or Rivatuner is stating we're above 11 gigabytes of usage. And with these settings, you guys will see that, and this is at 1080p by the way, which is crazy, right? So I've reset the numbers for you guys. Right now we're getting around 130-ish FPS. We're in Tokyo City. 1% lows at 92, and 0.1% lows are at 81. So right now, I mean, things look pretty stable and smooth for the most part. The frame times are relatively good as well. Whereas you guys saw with the RX 9070 XT, even at 1440p and 4K, despite having 16 gigs of VRAM, the card was stuttering. But over here, as you guys can see, things are pretty smooth. Things are pretty smooth for the most part. Like, I'm not seeing any hitching as I was on the RX 9070 XT. So, I mean, could definitely be an AMD problem. But we did drop a little bit on the 0.1% lows, but we didn't get like those massive dips like we were on the RX 9070 XT. Like where we're dropping. Okay, so there we got a stutter. But I'm not sure if this was a loading stutter, because as you guys can see, we're kind of out in the outskirts here. So let's go ahead and reset the numbers there one more time and see, let's drive around this area for a little while, see what happens. All right, there we go. So we're dropping again. But what I actually wanted to show you guys instead was, let's go back into the settings menu. And I'm going to actually drop some of the settings down to just ultra instead of extreme. And I mean, you guys will see the game still looks pretty good. But let's drop these down to ultra settings. Save. And we're still at 1080p. So let's keep that resolution. Reset the numbers there for you guys. So look, we do get a pretty decent performance bump as well. Before we were averaging, what, 120, 130 FPS with the 5070 extreme settings, 1080p ray tracing. But now we're getting about 160-ish, 1% lows in the high 120s, and our 0.1% lows around 110. So yeah, this is really smooth. The game still looks great. And as you guys can see from the on-screen display, VRAM usage actually starts to go down. We're on just under 10 gigabytes of usage. So, I mean, it definitely could be a VRAM thing on this particular card. I know some of the 8 gigabyte cards that some of the other tech tubers are showing were struggling pretty darn hard. And this is, and you know what, this is going way back. I'd say 2020 is when we should have had 16 gigabyte cards become the mainstream. Like, I'm talking about, like, you know, your $300 GPU should have had 16 gigabytes of VRAM back then on it. I mean, the 3060 did come with 12 gigs back then. But, I mean, you know, blame AMD and Nvidia for this market regression, stagnation, whatever you want to call it. But it's really sad because, yeah, I mean, they'd rather just try to sell you on software, but instead of giving you more VRAM. And I mean, with the way things are going right now, with all the AI boom, yeah, good luck with the next series, man. I mean, if they do decide to bump up the VRAM specs like they were, I think that's what they'll do, because if you remember the RTX 50 Super Series, which was canceled, was supposed to have, you know, the 3 gigabyte chips. So those were all supposed to get bumped up amongst the stacks. So I think the 5070 Ti was supposed to have like 32 gigs or something like that, or whatever, or 20 or 24 gigabytes. Yeah, that's what it was. And then the 5070 Super is supposed to have like 18 gigabytes or something like that. But as you guys can see, we're driving around Tokyo City. We didn't actually get a big stutter. I think we did get one, but other than that, performance is a lot more smoother. I'm not gonna lie, like, performance is actually feeling more stable than what I got on AMD. But again, we were testing at 1440p and 4K. So you know what? Let's go ahead and bump up the resolution to 1440p and see what happens. All right, guys. So we are now back, and we are now at 1440p, as you guys can see from the video resolution settings. And let's go hop into some gameplay. I've got the numbers reset for you. I didn't even realize I just ended up in Shibuya Crossing. This place, I actually went here last year in real life. Man, this place was so awesome. And I can't believe, like, props to the devs, man. Like, they actually nailed it down, like, one for one. Because, like, I remember, like, the bus stop or the metro stop would be here. So you'd go here. Yeah, they fucking nailed it. Can't obviously run over people, but, like, yeah, we came out of there, walked, and then we walked into that tunnel. It's closed off. And then, yeah, you go over here, and then you're in Shibuya Crossing. Oops. And yeah, as you guys can see, yeah, this is how many people were standing there, too, when I was walking there, and then you'd see everyone just cross. It'd be, like, total chaos everywhere. People stopping in the middle, all the damn tourists just, you know, taking their selfies, stopping traffic. And I remember coming here, and there was like an R34 parked here, and then there was like a RX-7 here as well. So that was really cool. I actually saw that in real life. Anyways, back to the game. What were we looking at? Performance, right? So we're still running ultra settings, and performance, as you guys can see, is still pretty smooth and stable. We're getting around 100 FPS at 1440p, 78 on the 1% lows, and 67 on the 0.1% lows. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty solid performance. Again, I have to say, like, I don't know if this is that was something AMD needs to address, but Nvidia does seem smoother right now. But then again, I am running ultra settings, so let's go ahead and change that. Let's go back to extreme and see what happens. I feel like we're probably gonna get some hitching. Volumetric fog. Okay, yeah, the only thing I leave on high is lens effects. I really don't care about that. Okay, let's reset the numbers. All right, yeah, there we go. So, getting about 11 gigabytes of VRAM use, and then a little over 10 in process. But yeah, as you guys saw, like, we got some dips over there. I don't know if that was just red at the beginning, but we'll drive around here a bit. Should actually go back into Shibuya, to a more busy area where there were a bunch of NPCs standing around. Yeah, I mean, looks like the numbers are going back up. The averages are going back up. And performance isn't too bad. Like, we didn't take a big drop, right? Because we were doing, what, around 100 FPS on Ultra, and now we only dropped like 10, 11, 12 FPS. Okay, now we're down to the low 80s. But it's still smooth. It's still playable. And you know what else we can do? Because we didn't have this luxury on AMD, but we do on Nvidia, which is weird because considering the fact that, you know, it's Forza, it's a first-party Microsoft Xbox game, and these guys love to optimize for, you know, Xbox hardware, which is AMD hardware. You would think that they would be supporting Radeon and RDNA technologies, but they didn't have frame generation. We do have frame generation on Nvidia though. We can, since this is a 50 series, we can go all the way to 4x. I'm gonna do 3x actually and see how it performs and how it feels, because we do have a pretty decent base frame rate. Go ahead and reset the numbers. Well, I mean, it doesn't even matter because on Riva Tuner with Nvidia's frame gen, the frame times aren't counted, right? So we can't even, just ignore the 1% and 0.1% lows. But I mean, getting around 200 FPS, right? Remember, frame generation, frame rate interpolation. We're now inserting 3 frames in between 2 real frames. But, you know. Okay, I can definitely feel a little bit of input lag, but it's not that bad. And we do have reflex with enabled on plus boost. I think it was just because I was driving really slowly there. The car needs some pickup, but no, this is totally playable, guys. Like, it's really not that serious. It's just a chill, fun, relaxing, you know, racing game. You just want to kick back and just relax. And this is smooth. This is smooth. This is... I would say this is a better experience than what I was getting on the 9070 XT. So yeah, I mean, frame generation, totally doable in this game. 3x mode. That's what I would go, leave it at. I wouldn't do 4x, but... yeah. It works. So what we'll do next then is we'll go ahead and we'll try 4K. That's going to be the big challenge for the 5070. So what we'll do is we'll go back and turn off frame generation, leave extreme, and we'll try what 4K looks like. Alright guys, so we're back, we're running 4K, and I have frame generation disabled, and as soon as I did that, I mean, you guys can take a look at the side menu there. The video memory bar just turned red, so the game is already just telling us and warning us that, hey, you probably don't want to be doing this. Your card just does not have enough VRAM to handle the settings that you're running at this resolution. We're still running the extreme settings with ray tracing enabled. But I'm curious. I want to see what happens when we go back into gameplay. Oh, look what happened. It actually popped up with a message saying running low on video memory. Please close non-vital applications or lower the video quality settings. Continuing to run with low video memory may cause instability or poor performance. Yes, I know. Don't show message. All right, let's go ahead, reset the numbers. And yeah, we're getting, 48 FPS. And yeah, it's not really playable. I mean, I guess it is kind of playable because, I mean, the frame times aren't going all over the place. So even though our average FPS took a pretty massive hit there, we dropped from like 80 to 90 FPS and now we're below 50. We're not seeing like, you know, crazy hitching with our 1% and 0.1% lows. I mean, we did get some hitches there, but I mean, that's to be expected at this point when we're pretty much tapped out on video memory. But it's not like crazy stutters. Like, I'm playing, I can still, like, you know, maneuver the car, drive the car around. It's not like a, you know, crazy juddery mess, but I mean, obviously I don't recommend you do this. So let's go ahead and lower down the settings from extreme to ultra and see what happens with our VRAM and, you know, if 4K can be playable with these settings. We do definitely want to still keep ray tracing enabled. And that was already at ultra. Okay, let's save that. And it is applying the settings. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you guys can see the bar does go down. I mean, it's still pretty much up there, right? Let's go ahead and reset those numbers. Okay, and I mean, yeah, performance goes up a little bit, but wow, no, it's still not what I would call smooth. And yeah, I mean, you know, I'm still getting some hitches. You'd probably have to disable ray tracing. But I mean, this game, like, the ray tracing is really good, and it's totally worth it in this game. Like I said, for Forza, for a racing game like this with detailed environments where you want to, you know, get to enjoy Japan in all its glory, you want to make sure you have the eye candy enabled, or I mean, decent amount of effects enabled at the very least. So I'm kind of curious, what would happen if we enable frame generation? Our base frame rate was in the mid 50s, low 50s. I think that's okay. Go back to 3x mode. See what happens. Okay, so you guys can see the frame rate obviously skyrockets, right? But it is hitching more here. It is definitely hitching way more over here. And I can feel it. The input lag surprisingly isn't too bad. But I can definitely notice the stutters and some of the dips and hitches there, but let's go ahead and lower down the quality settings to... Oh, we're already at ultra. I forgot I did that. So yeah, I mean, honestly, 4K for the 5070 might be pushing it. Might have to lower down settings even further down to high. But for this game, high settings is more like a disguised medium. I mean, it would still probably look decent, right? I mean, you do what you gotta do, and temper your expectations with the hardware that you have. But yeah, honestly, if you have a 5070, 1440p looks like that's gonna be the end of the line for, well, I guess any 12GB VRAM GPU, not just the 5070. But yeah, overall, I mean, 5070 handles this game fine. You got to play around with the settings, set up your expectations right. You know, at 1440p with a high base frame rate of around 80-90 FPS, and then you enable frame generation at an X3 mode, it really does create a really smooth and very enjoyable experience. But, you know, at 4K, it just does not have the VRAM capacity. It's a shame that, you know, with everything that's happened, the 5070 Super with 18 gigs of VRAM didn't come out, because I think that card, if it existed, would have done an absolutely phenomenal job playing this game. And I mean, if it was the same price, right? What are 5070s going for right now? Around $600 to $700. If you could get an 18GB card at that price range, yeah, it would give you a lot of good bang for the buck. But it's a shame. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll touch base with you guys in the next one. Take care.
If you guys found this video to be informative and entertaining, then leave a like. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Be sure to check out the video description for cool links and ways to support the channel, such as using my Amazon affiliate link. And if you're interested in seeing more content like this, then consider subscribing, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.